We've come all the way to Miami from Macclesfield to build an £80,000 pond for this little guy. So we jumped on an 11-hour flight from London to Miami to meet this guy, Greg Wittstock, aka the Pond Guy, and my new best mate, Kenan. Now both of these lovely gents have their own YouTube channel, make sure you go and check it out. Together they have a combined audience of 1.4 million subscribers. And as the Three Musketeers, we are going to transform that old space into a beautiful new turtle paradise.
What is it?
Mark.
Mark.
Yeah,
from England.
Yes.
I thought it was Texas, but I took a, you wish, huh? I'm always humbled that everyone shows up to do this because I know how much work it is, and I do appreciate it, man. You know, I love this stuff. I almost said a bad word, but I love this so very much, and this is kind of the site right here. So.
What's the plan, mate?
You want to know?
Yeah, I want to know, yeah. I want to get stuck in.
You like how we just kind of wing it? Like we just come out here and I'm like, I don't know, we'll try this, we'll try that.
We call it extreme planning.
Extreme planning.
I call it. So I can see you've put out 2 markers here. I've heard you kind of telling McKenna what your plan is for it. So where these marks are, is that where the holes are going?
That's where we're going to dig. So this whole pond's going to get dug down roughly 3 to 4 feet deep. Yeah. That's going to be the deep side over there. Pumps and stuff are going to come over in this area. There's a bridge that's going to cross this whole area. This area here, Mark, is going to be about 12 inches deep. Right, okay. And as we get into the pumps and everything else, we'll explain that later. Yeah. But this is kind of the shape of the pond. So we just pull from one area and then push from everything else. Right, okay. What you don't want to do is put a pump over there and put a pump over here. Yeah. Because when the water comes, the water gets confused. You get a big dead spot in the center. Right.
So how much would this cost?
We'd probably be somewhere around 70, 80 grand. Woo-wee. Yeah, but we got lots of bells and whistles. We got a bridge. There's going to be a cantilever deck. Yeah. We're going deep. We have a wetland filter. We have an intake bay, multiple pumps. There's a lot going on, and we've got to do all this in 3 days.
Let's get cracking. Let's go. Now, once we've got our master plan from the legend Brian himself, it was time for Jack, possibly the most coolest digger driver in the whole entire world. Hang on, this deserves a slow-mo. Right, now that I've stopped drooling over Jack, let's hear from him.
So what we want to do is there's a lot of root mat here from all these bamboo and these plants that are in this garden currently. So we're going to take this stuff out of here. It's not good to build on top of this because it'll decompose and it'll start settling. So we're going to get rid of this top layer, probably a good 7 or 8 inches of what's on top of the soil. Then we can start digging for the pond and using that excess soil to start building our mound over here where we'll be having our waterfalls and our constructed wetland filter.
Cheers, Jack. Right, I left Jack digging out that main pond while I caught up the legend himself, Kenan, on how all of this journey started.
So basically, I started out, my dad, my dearly departed father, he got me my first turtle when I was about 6. And it's kind of blossomed.
No way!
Yeah, it's kind of become a passion. So here are the giant tortoises, and they're not quite full grown, but that's Nostradamus, Socrates, and Darwin. And you're looking at 2 different species of giant tortoise. There's the Galapagos tortoise and the Aldabra. So
Galapagos, is that the one from the Galapagos Islands?
Correct, yeah, exactly.
I think this is actually the coolest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, right on, mate. I'm glad you're stoked. It only gets better from here.
And that it did. The pond was finally starting to take shape. I thought we was nearly done. I did have a big shock. Let's actually see what kind of filter system goes into these ponds. Let's speak to Greg.
What are these?
So those are bio balls. They're just an alternative to using rocks and gravel to be able to filter the water. There's more surface area on these pieces. So that way the bacteria has more places to grow.
And the idea is that water comes up through rock and gravel, which provides a lot of surface area for bacteria to grow. So instead of using the rock and gravel, now we're using bio balls, which have 3 times the amount of surface area as the same size piece of gravel. So it's supercharging your wetland filter. And bio balls are a whole lot easier to clean than rock and gravel. Like this stuff just falls right off of it.
So what we're doing now is this is the underlayment material. It's rock pad essentially, so it keeps anything on the bottom of the dirt that's sharp, could puncture the liner. It just gives it a safety net. So we'll cut out pieces, we'll lay them down first, Then we'll turn around, put our liner on top, and we'll cut another whole section to put on top and sandwich it in there, so that way it's sealed and protected as best it can be.
Now, as you can see, we have moved forward. I say we, very lightly because it's more them. The underlay's in, underlay. They're going to put a second sheeting of this in, and then is it the other stuff, or do you build a rock? Did you build a pond first? The wall.
No, so we'll put in the liner next. We'll put in another coating of this.
Yeah.
And then we'll come back. We'll do our backfill and our footing. Build the retaining wall.
Yeah.
Up, and then start rocking the pond.
Now, time for the most important bit, the pond liner. This is obviously what stops your pond from leaking. Yes, it looked as heavy on camera as it did in real life. I think that makes sense. Once we'd laid it out flat, we then started to work it, knead it in, making sure it fits perfectly before we got distracted again.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Told you, I'm the animal.
Look at this.
Did he say that?
Yeah, look, his eyes.
Oh.
Now, it was at this point that I actually fell in love with Kenan. What he does for these animals is truly breathtaking. And the fact that he took us round his beautiful home to show us some of these incredible species was extremely humbling. And yes, we got to see the star of the show, this absolute monster, Slinky. Now, although he looks like a monster, he's probably one of the most cuddliest animals I've ever seen. Apart from this guy, I think he actually wanted to eat me, so we decided to pick up something a little smaller. Although I could play with these beautiful creatures all day, it was time for me to get back to work. We are now just building some crates to stick some Budweisers in, and then we can go home. I built a crate! And the funniest thing ever was, Caleb went up to me before and said, "Do you mind if I have a go of your cigar?"
How'd you like it?
It's disgusting.
That is a wrap on day one. I'm going to call this pre-day one because I didn't know we was doing this. I thought we were starting on Tuesday, but we're here, we're stuck in. How do you think everyone's done so far today?
I'd like to be further, right? But I think
sounds like me. That literally sounds like
you
me.
always want to get a little further, but we with some of the obstacles and stuff we had, I think we're pretty far along. Tomorrow we're gonna start rocking this thing in.
Oh, right,
we're actually gonna start building this wall. We'll start placing some of these boulders and stuff through here. There's a whole semi-load of stone coming, a semi-load of gravel.
Semi-truck?
Truck, yeah, big. You know,
that's gonna be sick.
Very exciting.
Right, well I guess we'll see you in 3, 2. Day 2. And we have got...
I love that way to start.
We literally jump out of one frame into another frame. So it's bang, straight into it.
Well, first of all, you didn't introduce me.
Greg, this is Greg, the podcast. This is how excited I am for today. I'm like, let's get some work done. He's like, hang on, who am I?
That's so funny. So this is my 34th year in business.
Yeah.
This is 2018, so whatever, 7 years that we started working with Kenan. And I had no idea that we were building the pond over here. I thought it was over there, but that's what happens when Brian Helfrich gets involved, the master designer. And what's so cool for me and so exciting for me is that I get to expose more people to live in the aquascape lifestyle. And I think this is the 7th water feature that Kenan's getting on site.
Amazing. And if you're watching this and you'd like to be a part of it, or you want to go and follow Greg's journey, I'll drop all his details in the description below. We're now going to get some work done.
Good idea.
Yeah. And that we did. Now today was probably the most taxing on my body. It was all about building up them foundations for this incredible deck idea that Brian had. And to do that we needed concrete blocks and a lot of stone. So we had to get digging.
So Mark wanted to know how we met.
So in case you haven't figured out, this guy's a bull in a china shop, okay?
So I'm doing a live and he barges in on me.
Bull crap. Listen, I'm in the middle of a live. An actual live. An actual live. And I'm talking about a specific company's food and all this stuff. And he comes into the live and he's like, you need to use Aquascape fish food.
Smart.
And I'm like, who is this nut? So bottom line is, comes up afterwards, Greg Wittstock, pond guy, shakes my hand. He says, I'm going to build you a pond. I'm like, okay. That February, I got the very first pond, and we're on our 6th one. This is the 6th one going in.
6 or 7, something like that.
I'm so excited to see this one done. I'm buzzing that I'm here. And
I'm stoked you're here too.
It's going to be fun.
All right, let's crack on. And with perfect timing, here comes the semi-truck with an American flag in the background, backing into an American garden God bless the United States of America. What they're doing, rather than put a concrete pad in, they've put a base of this down, whacked it in, they put the concrete blocks, they put rods in them, and they're filling them up with stone. Now we was finally making good progress, or as my Americans say, progress. And I actually got to try out the Kubota skid steer. A massive shout out to them because they support Kenan in so many ways and they make the coolest machines on this planet. And here comes Josh, guys, from JBH. He's made an appearance. He come with us all the way to sunny Jupiter. And with Josh's help and everyone else's, this wall started to take shape that the frame of the decking was going to sit on top of. You'll see it later. It looks sick.
So what we were just talking about was this rebar sticking up. We're going to come back in here. We're going to take some of the rock pad. We're going to lay it down on this. We're going to spray structure bond again, glue it down to this, then also drill it through and kind of pin it to this. That way it's going to run back underneath of our deck. That's going to give us structural integrity to the very top of the retaining wall, because we're going to have our blocks sitting, or our stringers will be sitting on top here for your deck.
Yeah.
They'll be anchored down and it cantilevers over.
Yeah.
So that way then your weight's distributed across the whole thing.
So good. And just like that, the main rocks got delivered. Now this is probably one of the biggest costs of the job, picking out and paying for the rock, but Jack spent no time in prepping and getting these rocks in place. And Greg and Brian was a master of setting them stones out. And I got to cut, Stephen, if you're watching this, I got to cut some stuff as well before we started to work on the deck with Billy. So we've come across some timber that I have never seen before in my life. Look how beautiful that is. It's heavy, it's like English oak, but it's a walnut. And it's from Brazil. What's it called? Ipe. 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 How dense it is unbelievable. So it's like a walnut colour, but then it's got these yellow speckles in it. So as we've just nipped off, I say nipped off, we've been with Billy looking at the deck that we're building for kind of this frame here. I've come back and you're doing something completely different to what's going on. So what's gone on while I've been gone?
So the one thing with building ponds, it's we're always adapting and changing, and you have to kind of be flexible with it. And if you try to build too much off of a set vision, it'll look very forced. Yeah. And because of our lack of some big rocks, we're trying to change things and change the shape a little bit. And we've got a monster boulder over there. I'll show you in a sec. Yeah. And so we're digging out for that big rock to kind of sit. Big? It's pretty big. Oh wow. It's pretty big. So I want that to sit behind this big log here with some plants and stuff in front.
So I guess we'll see you tomorrow in 3, 2. You join me on, I think, day 3, and we are already go karting.
Oh, that
Oh, nice.
Good luck, boys.
Yeah.
That's got bad shit. I used to drink that.
Oh, is it? So this morning, Bill was telling me how good they are for you. And then Kenan just said, boys.
Well, no, okay, he was talking about Monster. My wife works with a cardiologist, and he says if you're going to drink any energy drink, drink Celsius.
Really?
Over any other energy drink.
I just wouldn't drink them.
No.
It's loaded.
Bill's telling me how healthy this is.
I don't know. Listen, I was getting heart palpitations and.
Well, we're gonna test it out.
Yeah.
We're in America.
Cheers.
When in Rome.
You're gonna be popping, dude.
Disclaimer, Kenan, if you're watching this, I should have listened to you, mate. I was shaking all day. We're just marking out now what Bill's done over here, very clever, which I'm going to take home with me. He's marked individually what boards he's cut them to, and now what I'm assuming he's marking is marking where them boards are going to go.
Love it.
So what's going wrong?
What's going wrong?
So this timber is extremely hard, like really hard. And what's happening is that all the bits are burning out when we're putting them in. We might have to do a little gap. But we're going to find out right now. Oh. So basically what's happened is the tool that we had probably wasn't for what we're using it for. We probably need like a tungsten bit, which is a really hard forged metal. For the reason being, this is so dense, it's just snapping the tool. So what we've done is one of the tools out of snaps, we've created kind of our own tool. Same bits, we've just moved them, and hopefully it's going to work and see if it doesn't snap anymore. But it was nearly game over for me and Bill before we got started. And thank God we did come up with a solution and we could finally start getting this decking in. Cue the music. God bless America. It was tough to go through the timber, wasn't it? So if you didn't go all the way through with the pilot hole, what tended to happen is like this. It's kind of the wood heated up, like on this one here, and it snapped. Now these are stainless steel, these are strong pins. So what we're gonna have to try and do now is get these out somehow. We ain't gonna do that. Oh, I've got an idea. What's this? Oh. Hey, see that? Does it work? Oh my God! Can you see it? You've seen that, haven't you?
I've never seen that. That's a good idea.
That's a great idea, isn't it? Yeah. So these were too thin. I'm going to tell you my genius. They were too thin to get it out, so I used a screw. I just thought of that on the spot.
It's pretty good.
Right, we'll crack on with this and show you what it looks like when it's done. Now, once I'd shown Billy my secret way of getting all the screws out, we could then fix up any broken bits and finalise this deck and make it look je ne sais quoi. That is the deck completed, and if I don't say so myself, it looks incredible. We didn't quite beat Brian's time, but we wasn't far away. But can I just say, I've completed a full deck, and Brian's not even finished his hole. So I guess I won. So the lads now, you win. Yeah, they're building up the biofilter. Is that correct, Bri?
What's that?
You're building up the biofilter now.
We're doing the wetland filter, and we just hit solid bedrock.
Oh, so the boys are going to chip away. I've got to go with Greg because we've got a meeting with him and some forth and what's up. So we'll see you in 3, 2. You join us in the filter. So we've got Jack here. So Jack, you pretty much team up a team of aquascape installers.
Yeah.
So you're probably the best man to ask about this system. So we built a load of crates the other day. Some of these have got balls in them, some of them haven't. What is this and how does it work?
So right now, this is the heart of the pond. This is our filter. So what we're doing is we're putting a layer of aqua blocks down. And then we have another layer of large aqua blocks sitting over there with bio balls. And so what that's going to do is allow all the beneficial bacteria and all the stuff that's going to make this pond crystal clear and take that water clarity to the next level. This is where that heart's going to be at. So it's kind of the heart of the pond.
So this here, does the size of this determine how big our liters of our pond is?
So with this, we can dial that in on how much water we shoot through here. So we kind of know roughly on how much we can put through here.
Yeah.
Obviously, the more extensions you can put on this, the more water you can push through it.
Right, okay, so then essentially the bigger you call them gallons, the gallons.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. Sweet, right, I'll let Jack crack on, I'll get out of his way. I'm passing some crates and we'll see what it looks like when it's all done. Now, whether you're a landscaper looking to get into pond builds or you're a customer that really do fancy a high quality pond, I will put Aquascape's details in the description below. These guys genuinely make the best ponds in the whole entire world.
So right now we're filling up along the edges of our aqua blocks that are in the bottom of the wetland, getting that secure. Then we're gonna get ready to put our next layer with our bio balls in it, and we'll fill that. We'll just continue progressing up the wetland until we get to the top.
Thanks for that, Greg. Things were finally starting to take shape. The pond was coming alive. We decided to do a YouTube live with Kenan and raise £700, which really did help him on this project. Thank you all so much for the people that jumped on that live. Please let us know in the comments if you did see a live with us over there. And now it's time to touch base with our best mate, Brian.
Greg, the pond guy, will always tease me. He's like, Brian, how'd that project turn out? I was like, oh, it's my favorite of all time. He's like, well, that's what you said last week.
That's what I say. I literally say every YouTube video. I know I say this a lot, but this is my favorite one.
Yeah, because you just, and I'm not lying. Like, at that point, It's my favorite.
It's how you feel, yeah. Amazing. Right, I'm going to get stuck in with Jack. So we've got a big piece of rock here. We're not just going to lift it with our bare hands. We've got a rag. What we're going to is that what we're going to be using?
So yeah, this is just leftover fabric that we use from the pond. So what we're going to do is just roll this rock onto the fabric. That way it's easier for us to carry it. So that way the two of us can carry a rock relatively comfortably, and then we can throw it into place. So let's get it over there, and then we can manhandle it.
Let's do it, baby.
2, 3.
3, 2, 1. Do you know what? How hard I've been grafting today. I hope to God Josh and Tina have been working just as hard.
So, Josh is like the chief blagger, get us in with the good stuff. So our girl Sarah, she's gonna give myself and Josh a tour, and we're gonna get to see some cool stuff.
Now, I'm not going to lie, when I was doing this voiceover and seeing this footage, I was extremely jealous. But there will be a video coming out very soon of what Josh and Tina did over at Bush Wildlife. And it did involve something other than just looking at animals all day. I know I'm just as disappointed as you. I mean, come on. Why have I not got to do this? And yes, I will put Bush Wildlife Sanctuary's details in the description below. Please, please, please go and show them some love, because they're doing this from the bottom of their hearts. So we've got literally one more day to complete this project. So we've got Greg on the digger, we've got Jack here just checking his measurements. What's your name, buddy?
Joy.
Joy?
Yeah.
So we've got Joy here that's just facing this up. And then they're going to stick the fabrics on, the underlay, then the membrane, and then that'll be it for today. So tomorrow we have got a lot of people here, so fingers crossed when I clap my hands, there's a million people behind me, and it will help us complete this full pond project in one day. Day 5, and the lads have already started, so they're putting footing in here for the bridge, but we've got a visitor.
Finally turned up.
He's finally turned up. He's not seen it for how many days?
We've not been here for 2 days.
What do you think of it?
Made some good progress. Looks really good. Like it. Like the deck. Deck looks good.
Today is pretty important because it's the last kind of big working day. Fingers crossed we get done today, and then all tomorrow is beautiful pans, pictures. So we're going to crack on now. We need to get some blocks. So while you're here, you can help me.
Let's do some work.
Let's go.
Yeah, so basically we dug out extra deep for the footers. We're laying a 4-inch base of gravel, and then we're setting a level of 4 blocks on top of that, which is going to match up to the deck over there, which puts us 3 inches above the water.
So you built the bridge yesterday?
Yeah. The bridge is already built.
All done?
Yep. So we have those measurements coming out, setting the frame for it, and it should just come over here, line up, and land perfect with the deck.
I'll need one quick filter to get that one.
So what we do is, because we want that water to go up and through the tops of these aqua blocks, if we were not able to cover the front of them, the water would just get drawn through the sides, and it would defeat the purpose of this intake bay.
Nearly there now. The lads are just building up all the rockery area. The bridge is in that Bill built yesterday. We're literally just building this whole area up, but now Josh is going to go and work with Brian, and Brian is doing literally the most important job, because if this fails, the whole job goes to shit. So I'm going to leave you with Josh, good old Josh, for a second. I'll speak to you in a bit.
Brian, can you just explain to us what you're doing?
Yeah, Josh. So we want water to come up and over these rocks. And so we're gonna place this in here, but if you look at this now, the way water is gonna come kind of over this, if I were to come in here, right now the way it sits, when that water comes over the top of this, there's no way it's gonna wanna come over the top. It's gonna take the path of least resistance. And there's these big gaps. Like if I can get my hand back in underneath it, here and here, over on the sides, all that water is going to go underneath the rock. And we're spending all this time to get all the water to come up and over. So we take this stuff, Aquascape professional waterfall foam. It's really just like using great stuff. Insulation foam. Ours just doesn't expand quite as much, and it's black, so it doesn't turn yellow. And so we're going to come in here, foam underneath this. It'll expand, fill up that space, turn rock hard, and force 95-98% of the water over the top.
Now, I'm not going to lie, it's not often you meet people like Brian that is super talented in what they do. So please go and show him some love in the comments. Right, I have been pulled into something new. Kenan is going to be putting 100 tortoise and turtles in his front garden. So what he's doing now is he's just literally moving all the bark away, and then we're gonna create. I'm gonna use my social media skills, editing skills. I'm gonna create him a video. And if you're watching this right now and you've not seen it, go across to his Instagram page, find the video. You'll know which one it is, and comment on it saying, "Oh my God, I've come across from Mark's video. I love this." Let's see how many people go across. Right, time to crack on. Now, before we put our beautiful Chelonians in their new home, it was time to use one of Kenan's sponsors, Reptibark, to tidy up this beautiful bit of land that he had around his home, and then we could get to work in creating a little bit of magic.
All right, so Mark and I will suffer for our YouTube art. We're gonna get all these turtles moved back, which we had to do. But Mark is a little bit of a mastermind, and he came up with this plan. So we're going to do a daisy chain with all the Aquascape folks. But I just want you to know how much I care about my videos, because I sat in tortoise pee. What are you going to do? Here's Mark.
Weirdly enough, we've got a lot of people here. So anyone that's not up for it, then obviously you don't have to do it, but I think it'd be pretty cool. Are we ready?
Yeah.
So we'll start a daisy chain from here. So we'll tiny. There is some big ones, but if you start from here and then just build a daisy chain up right to the back of the property.
This is awesome, guys. A giant tortoise. Hey, Cersei, you're back, sweetheart.
Now, once our Chelonians were in their brand new home, it was time for us to finish off this aquascape pond by making sure everything's sealed nice and tight, it's nice and clean, and we also decided, well, Kenan decided to put a beach area in so that their turtles, or tortoises, can't remember which ones they were, could lay their eggs and breed. How incredible is that? That is the last plant in. Now it's time to get it filled up. Josh has given it a good old rinse. So what we're going to do now is take a look at how this beautiful journey began. Now, what started off as a dream in one day going across to America and helping out with something special become a reality. And that's all down to Greg. Now, honestly, mate, you have given me one of the best experiences of my entire life. So thanks, buddy. And not only that, we have gained some best mates along the way. Now, honestly, what Aquascape do is incredible. And this wouldn't be one of our videos without some trials and tribulations, but we overcome them. And together with the Aquascape family, we have been part of something magical. And this could not be possible without your love and support. Thank you all so much for watching our videos. And now it's finally time to hear from the man himself, Kenan, aka my best mate, the legend.
Listen, everybody, this is now my 7th water feature with Aquascape. Every year you guys show up, I meet some new people that I just really connect with. I love all of you. This is Frida's Pond. That's what it will be known as. And you can visit Nick and Tina, the Aru River Turtles, named after our good friend Mark. I keep saying Nick. I apologize. It's Mark and Tina. Mark and Tina are swimming around in the rec pond, named after Mark and his wife Tina, because they have been so gracious coming all the way over here to see how we do things with the animals in Aquascape. They donated $700 from all their amazing people. that contributed in the UK, and that goes a long way because we got to buy the stone and things like that.
Are we ready to turn it on?
Let's turn the sucker on. Get over here.
Yes.
Thank you, Bruno. All right. We got water, people.
Super impressive. Super impressive. Oh wow. Yeah, amazing. Thank you so much for watching this video. It has meant the world to me. Thank you to this guy, Jackie. How's it been working with an Englishman?
It's been a treat. Yeah. No, I love working with you.
You need to say it in a straight face.
Yeah. No, it's been fun. It's been fun working with you guys. I was really enjoyed being a part of this, and you guys coming out and seeing what we do out here.
Yeah.
So I had a really fun time.
Hopefully more to come. I will drop everybody's socials in the description below, so go and drop them a follow. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.